All right, guys, we have Peter on the show today. We're at Dpatrick, and you're the general manager of this location, and you're going to tell us the story of your is it great-grandpa or great-great-grandpa?
My great-grandfather.
Okay.
So Joe O'Daniel, he came to Evansville sometime in the late 20s, early 30s, around that time from Waverly, Kentucky. He was from a very poor family, the oldest of about 10 brothers and sisters,
That's
I
a lot.
believe. So big family. His parents decided it'd be best for him to help contribute to the family, so they sent him to Evansville, which was a much larger market with more opportunity at the time. His aunt actually helped him get a job washing cars for the Raines family. And at the time he was he was washing cars. He did get promoted to selling cars and also becoming a technician on used vehicles. So he used his knowledge of the used vehicles that were in inventory to help sell those vehicles to the public. And he did such a good job that the owner of that dealership at the time decided to sell him that dealership in addition to one other person. And that's kind of the birth of my family in the car business.
What was it called originally?
It was called O'Daniel Raines.
O'Daniel Raines, and now it's Dpatrick.
That's correct.
Okay, sweet. And you said that was the 30s?
Yeah, 1934 is when O'Daniel Raines started. When the next generation came in, my great-grandfather actually helped my grandfather purchase his own dealerships called Dpatrick. So.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
And now, your name's not Dpatrick.
So Dpatrick is my grandfather's first and middle name. So Darwin Patrick.
And so his first name was Darwin?
Yes.
So I was wondering, someone asked me the other day, they're like, because I said I was having you on the show, and he's like, oh, cool, what's his name? I was like, Mr. Patrick, I guess. And I was like, but it's not. And I looked later, I was like, no, Peter's last name is not Patrick. So I wondered.
I do get called Patrick often with the mix-up, but that's fine.
Awesome. That's sweet. So how has it come down? Because it's going to, one day, Lord willing, fourth generation owner, which you don't see a lot of, I would think, right?
Yeah.
Because Trailer Brothers is third generation owned currently.
Which, fun fact, my grandfather, Dpatrick, is actually dating Nancy Trailer, whose husband started Trailer Brothers.
No way.
Which is a fun fact.
That is a fun fact. We're getting the Evansville lore. This is great.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, cool. So how has that transition looked the past 90 years? It's the 90th year, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I mentioned, my grandfather, Dpatrick, I believe he took over sometime in the late 50s, maybe early 60s, with his new company, Dpatrick, and did very well growing the business, getting additional franchises and whatnot. He had 5 children. My father, Mike, my father's brother, Sean, my father's brother, Aaron, who recently passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then his 2 sisters, Mary Ellen and Tricia, and my a few of them worked in the car business. A few decided to do other things. Mary Ellen, his sister, her husband Ray is 50-50 partners with my father in the organization right now. And so sometime in the late 80s or in the 80s, Ray and my father moved to Evansville to work in the business and took over sometime in the 90s, took over ownership.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how does 50-50 work with running a business? Because I feel like you hear people are just great and other people it's like it's a nightmare because you can't decide. And I'm young. I don't know.
I think like anything, you have to have a good relationship with your business partner in order to be successful. Which my father and my Uncle Ray are. They have a good relationship, and sometimes I'm sure they don't agree on everything. Just like me and my brother-in-law, who hopefully plan to take over. We probably won't see eye to eye on every single thing, but you try to be in sync as much as possible, and hopefully one person brings talents that the other one maybe doesn't, and you help each other to grow the business and grow a good team. So.
And before this, you were talking about how you love to build teams.
Yeah.
Over compared to you're not a car guy. You like cars, but you're like a team guy.
Yeah.
So what's your special leadership ability compared to your brother-in-law's?
So I think me and my brother-in-law, we both love people, and I think you have to love people to grow an organization and set a good example for your employees. Um, speaking for myself, I love, like you said, building teams, and that's definitely the part of the business I'm most passionate about is hiring people that may have not been given an opportunity or may have not seized an opportunity in previous careers, and just giving them the tools and resources they need to be successful here at Dpatrick and watching them grow. I think that's the most rewarding part of my career. I've seen people that have nothing, and we give them a job as a technician. They change oil at first, get the hang of everything, and you just slowly watch them graduate to performing more complex jobs. And I think that's the most, at least for myself, that's the most satisfying part of my career.
That's awesome. What would you say to like a young person who's like they're ambitious, they got what it takes, but you still got to put the work in to get to the next level? What would you say to someone like that?
Yeah, I think, like you said, you have to be willing to put the work in. I think there's a lot of people that think they can get by and it'd be easy. Becoming successful, in my opinion, is not easy. It can be, it can be enjoying. I mean, you can enjoy it, the process, but you're going to have bumps in the road. You're going to face adversity, and you have to be able to fight through that adversity. You also, I believe, have to be able to get along with the people around you. I think that's one of the biggest parts of becoming, successful is that you have to be willing to listen, be willing to realize you're not right about everything, and listen to your supervisors, find a mentor, and build on that. So
Nice.
yeah,
That's awesome. Okay. So let me ask you this. Let's pivot a little bit. What's it like coming into a family business? Did you always want to be in the family business? Do you have other dreams and aspirations? Like what's that look like?
So when I was about, I want to say 7 or 8 years old, that's when I got the first taste of it. My father told me I needed to get to work, and he wanted me to realize the value of hard work and what can come of that. So he took me to the lot. It was a time where people smoked cigarettes a lot more than they do now.
Okay.
Vapes weren't a big thing, so there were cigarette butts all over our lot, whether it was customers, employees that smoked their cigarettes, and so that was one of my first jobs, picking up cigarette butts off the lot. And I did that for, several winters, summers, in the heat and the cold. And at the time, I didn't appreciate it, as you could imagine. Most 8-year-olds wouldn't appreciate something like that.
Were you getting paid good?
But I was getting paid,
That's what I'm talking about.
Good, I don't know. That's relative. But I was getting paid, and there's a funny story, actually. The salesperson downstairs who still works for us, who I've known since I was basically born, he always joked around and said, you need to ask for more money and go on strike. And but yeah, looking back, I really do appreciate my dad putting me in a position like that, because it did help me teach me the value of hard work. And I also think it, other employees saw it, some that are still with us and that realize how long I've been active in the company. And so I am appreciative of that opportunity. And then I graduated kind of picking up cigarette butts to selling cars. Or I'm sorry, not selling cars, but washing cars.
Washing cars, there you go.
So I did that, when I was younger. And then eventually I did sell cars by the time I was 19. My
Nice.
father wanted me to be over the age of 18 to do that job, because obviously you have to drive cars a lot and whatnot. And so I did that. Went to Indiana University at the time for undergrad. And then
What'd you go to school for?
I went to school for, telecommunications management.
Really?
My first time in the college. I did graduate, but then when I moved back to Evansville, I went and got my accounting degree from USI. My father always believes it's important to have an accounting degree if you're going to run a business, and I agree after, running a business.
Nice.
It is important. So my brother-in-law, Wolfie, also has his accounting degree.
And why is that? Is it because so like if someone's messing up your stuff, or just so you can understand?
I think it's just so you understand
the numbers.
The numbers, understand the financials of the company. It's if you don't understand the numbers, it can be very difficult to know if you're if you're having a financial problem or where you know, how well you're growing and whatnot.
That's interesting. So I did not go to college.
Mm-hmm.
I got a business. I'm on the grind. It's awesome. I love it. God's opened the doors to get there. But I've always I don't feel like I need a degree to run a business, but it would be fun to go to school to take like 1 or 2 classes, like one on accounting and like one-on-one on like taxes, because that stuff's a nightmare.
Yeah.
I feel like, and it's not too bad where we're at right now, but also I'm like, this is not what I'm gifted in.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree that you do not need a college degree to necessarily run a business. I think it is helpful, especially depending on the size of your business, if you do have some accounting or finance background. But obviously, Dpatrick's a decent-sized company.
Oh yeah,
so,
we're on totally two different levels, I think. So
yeah, so I do think at least for the size of this company, it is important to understand the numbers, and so I'm thankful that my dad, gave me that opportunity to do that. So
sweet. So Dave Ramsey says, or on his show, he'll talk about like when he had his kids work at the business. He's like, you have to work twice as hard just to be respected by people here. Do you find that to be the same with your upbringing?
I do agree. I think I'm at the point in my career where I do have respect for the people that I manage. But I do agree with that. That's funny you brought that up. After undergrad at IU, my father actually and my uncle both had a rule that you need to go work for somebody else for several years.
Okay.
And so I decided to move to Chicago. I got a job as a commodities broker up there.
What is that?
It's basically a stockbroker, but
Really?
you're selling commodity futures contracts, which is just a different financial instrument. And those financial instruments can be used to hedge certain commodities prices. Like we primarily helped hedge grain prices for farmers. That was one of the things we were heavy in. So I did that for about 3.5 years. I had a great mentor and manager there named Ken, who has since gone on to start his own sales training company.
Nice.
And so I was very thankful to have a mentor outside of my dad in a whole different company. And so I'm thankful that my father also forced me to get out of Dpatrick and go do something else for a while. And so I think that also helped give me a little more respect. I wasn't just straight out of college and came in and took over, so to speak. I had to go earn my stripes somewhere else. So another funny story is when I moved back from Chicago, I asked my dad what my first role would be.
Okay.
Thinking it would be a management position or something exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, actually, we're moving into our new Ford store, which is the store we're sitting in right now. We used to be located downtown by the Ford Center.
Okay.
And that was actually our building since about the 1960s. And my dad said my first job was to help a couple other guys move everything out of our old Ford store into our new one. So my first 4 months of my Dpatrick career was wearing jeans and a sweatshirt and getting dirty and just moving everything. And I asked my dad, why are you putting me in this position, as my first position? And he said, because everybody is going to see you do this job and it will help earn you respect.
That's awesome. Your dad seems like a cool guy.
He is. I am, and I'm not just saying this. I am very thankful to have a dad who's always looked out for my best interest and has always treated me fairly. He's a great guy. He really is. So.
Sweet action. That's awesome. So you've done it all, it sounds like.
Yeah, somewhat.
Somewhat. So since you love building teams, when you're moving the boxes and everything over here, were you the team was motivated and you're like, guys, we got this?
Yeah, I mean, it was really only me and probably 2 other guys at any given time, so it wasn't a huge team to manage.
You don't need a big team, right?
Yeah, but we did a good job moving in here. Didn't break too much. And but yeah, we I learned a lot doing that, a lot about just the history and some of the things I went through, some of the just old photos and stuff from the history of Dpatrick that I went through to help move everything in here, and it's pretty neat to see.
That's awesome. So you said you're not a big car guy. So are you partial to any brands? We're here at the Ford place,
Yeah.
so you might have to say you're you're a Ford guy.
Right now, it's Ford and Lincoln for sure.
Okay.
I drive a Lincoln Navigator, which I know I'm biased, but I really do love the Navigator.
Nice.
Yeah, they came out with the new 2025. It's a great.
What is a Navigator? I'm not for sure.
So it's a full-size Lincoln SUV.
Nice.
So luxury SUV. Lincoln hasn't always been known to necessarily compete with the Mercedes and BMWs on the luxury stage, but I think they've come a long way. Their product is, I think, second to none when it comes to luxury.
No way.
Lincoln's really stepping up lately, and we're selling a lot more of them too as well. So,
Heck yeah.
highly recommend Lincoln.
It's the golden age. Business is booming.
Yeah. And Ford trucks, I think the F-150 also, it leads the market and has for 40-something years.
Interesting.
The truck market, so.
I don't know my stats. I'm a Chevy guy, so my one Chevy I've ever owned. I'm not. Toyota's where it's at. The Corolla. I had a Corolla, man. That thing went 300,000 miles. Wood didn't clock over. It just went. It just kept going.
Yeah.
I was like, this is it. Does it look pretty? No.
Yeah.
Will it go forever? Yes.
Well, we don't sell new Toyotas. I can't badmouth the brand Toyota.
No, I'm not.
It has a good product, and we sell those. We sell everything used, so anything new Dpatrick doesn't sell.
Nice.
We stock over 1,000 used vehicles, so we have plenty of options for any customers.
Do you have a favorite year of like a Ford truck?
I can't say I do on a Ford truck.
No.
I used when I was younger. I was really into German vehicles. Drove a lot of Audis, which I loved. I had a couple BMWs that I enjoyed, and so I was always very partial to some of the German brands. But I love my Navigator. I love the F-150 when I drove that for a while. So
nice.
I'm a little all over the place.
That's cool. You got to be, man.
Yeah.
You got to be. Okay, so your next position, you moved boxes. What happened next?
So after that was around the time I decided to go back to college. I went to USI to get my accounting degree. So while I was doing that, I was also helping out, learning the service world, working in the service department. Just odd jobs. I didn't really have a title necessarily because obviously going to school full time can take up a lot of your time.
Oh yeah.
So for about 2 years, I was bouncing between school and learning the service department, helping out in sales a little bit, desking deals and whatnot. And then I graduated from accounting school in 2018. And at that time, my father decided to send me to Dealer Candidate Academy, so this is through the National Automotive Dealers Association out in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
So National Automotive Dealers Association, for short, NADA, they help dealers, lobby, at Capitol Hill for different laws that could affect car dealers, work with our state associations on laws that can affect car dealerships negatively. But then they also provide training for future dealers. So oddly enough, I met my current wife at the time. I met her the second day of the Dealer Academy. She's from Buffalo, New York. And we actually got engaged on graduation day.
No way.
So that's kind of a cool story.
So she's from New York.
She's from Buffalo, New York. Her father's in the car
York.
business up there, and so she moved down here to Evansville several years ago. We have 2 boys, Rennick and Harrison.
Nice.
And she gets it. She gets the long hours, and she understands.
Did she ever come out here, sell some cars for old time's sake or anything?
Funny story. A couple months ago, we had a Haitian Creole customer.
Okay.
He spoke French Creole, and I knew that she was almost fluent in French. So I had her go try to talk to this guy because he didn't speak a lick of English. And she struggled with the Creole French part, which is a different dialect than normal French. But funny enough, a friend of hers who does speak Haitian Creole got on the phone and helped us communicate with this customer and get him in a new vehicle. So
that's awesome.
That was a cool story.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of other people coming in here that speak a different language?
Yeah, recently, more so. It does seem like we've had a lot of immigration, which I know is kind of a political topic right now, but it does seem Evansville has a lot of migration, I'll say, which for us, if it increases our customer base. We want to help as many customers as possible. So to me, it's all positive.
That's right. That's smooth.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So with what was the organization you went to up in Washington? What's it called?
NADA, National Automotive Dealers Association.
Okay, so with that, do you follow a lot of that, like in all the politics of like different cars?
Yeah.
How much does that affect you? Like when they said a couple years ago, like we're going EV by like 2030, and now we're not. Like, did that affect you guys at all? What's that look like?
It really did. I mean, the EV thing, it really affected us. It took a lot of dealers by surprise, especially with Ford Motor Company, because Tesla was pretty much, several years back was the dominant EV brand, and Ford decided they wanted to get into the space in a bigger way than their competition. So they came out with the Ford F-150 Lightning electric vehicle and the Mustang Mach-E electric vehicle.
Was that like the uniquely shaped one?
Yeah. So
Okay.
the Mach-E is they call it an SUV, but it's kind of a crossover. It's a smaller SUV. A great vehicle. I think it rivals the Tesla in any way, if not better. And we did pretty well selling them. The EV market, it kind of comes and goes. It's definitely a unique buyer that wants that vehicle. But yeah, it was a little, we're not in a huge EV market like the coast, and so it was different for us. It was a little scary on whether we were going to be able to meet the requirements of the manufacturer in terms of what they wanted out of EV sales. But we've done a good job with it, and if anybody needs an EV, we got you.
And I mean, just putting the EV like battery charging stations in, those are like expensive, right?
Yeah, so we actually just got our what they call level 3 charger up and running yesterday.
Okay.
Coincidentally, and it's a fast charger, so it can charge your vehicle, I believe, in about 45 minutes.
Nice.
Pretty cool. So that is on our property. If anyone needs to charge their vehicle, it's open to the public.
Is it free?
24/7. It is not free.
I was about to say open to.
We're not charging any more than the average charger. So
How is that price comparatively to gas?
45 cents per kilowatt hour is the average price in Indiana to charge your vehicle. So we're meeting the average
Sweet.
price of the market. So we want to help anybody who needs their electric vehicle charged.
Nice. There is a company that is pretty new. I think I might mispronounce Solfence. I think it's Solfence. But they are fence. It's a fence company that is all solar paneled. So you can, because it's all solar panels on this fence, you can charge your battery with your fence.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
they're like one of 2 companies that does it.
Yeah.
Not locally, I think. What I was told was nationally, because there's another big company that sells them, but it's for like farming. Yeah, and they're big in California now.
Yeah, there's a lot of things changing around electrification. Clearly, there's 2 different administrations in the presidency. Kind of debate whether we need it or not. So it's just interesting. I think the manufacturers kind of decide how much EV production they want to pump out, depending on obviously the laws in place
And what people will buy.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, so what's any big changes coming up, you think, right now for the car industry or for you guys?
Well, I will say, if we're talking about the EV part, I mean, Trump did get rid of several EV requirements for the manufacturers. So, that is kind of interesting to see how that'll play out, whether EV production will stay the same or decrease. We're still kind of sitting on the sidelines seeing how that plays out. But we're here to, sell any of the vehicles we have, provide a great customer experience to anybody who wants to do business with Dpatrick. We do believe we have a fun culture that makes the buying process as easy as we possibly can, and we're here for anyone who needs our help.
I will say you guys haven't, to be honest, I haven't been in many dealerships recently, but I mean, It's very hot outside, and it felt very nice coming in. Air conditioning, water, it's popcorn, movies are going, old classic cars. I was like, this is a vibe. I like this place.
Yeah, we try to make it family friendly. We even have a recharge center, which is a massage chair.
Oh.
So while you're getting your vehicle serviced or waiting to get your vehicle to purchase your vehicle, you can hop in that recharge center and recharge.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, man, can I come here and hang out? Like,
yeah, we want to make it as family friendly and customer focused as possible here. So we do try to make it convenient. We try to make it fun and be there to help our guests.
That's awesome. Well,
yeah.
Sweet action. Come at 10 more years, 100 years.
Yeah.
You gotta stick around a little bit longer. So.
Yeah, we are close to the 100-year mark, and me and the staff that we have, I think we'll have no problem hopefully lasting another 90 years if we can, So
that's awesome.
I think as long as we stay focused on providing our customers a good experience, I think we can do that. So
sweet. Now, are your boys old enough to be coming in here?
So they're 4 and 2. They
so
do
a little
come
young
in here, and they do get in the cars, but not quite gonna let them drive a car or talk to a customer unless it's high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think we're at that point in the video where we start to wrap up.
Yeah.
So we like to ask a fun question every episode. What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is probably Scarface.
Really? Okay.
And primarily because of the drive it takes him to get to the level. Obviously, he didn't do it in a legal way, But I definitely don't condone his actions. But I do think it's an entertaining movie that I enjoy watching from time to time.
I've never watched Scarface.
Okay, you gotta
but
put it on the list.
I need to put it on the list, and that's one where he's like, "Meet my little friend," right?
Yep, yeah. Pretty aggressive movie, but it's entertaining for sure.
Awesome.
So,
okay, very cool. And then the last question we ask every episode is, who are 3 owners you like to see on the show?
I will say Richie Patel. If you don't know Richie, he's started several restaurants, bars around the area.
Okay.
Younger guy. I think he's doing a great job. Every restaurant, he's started. I think is good. Great atmosphere. Also, I'd say Randy Hobson, who's another restaurateur.
Okay.
He's started Pangea, second language. Has a new South American style restaurant.
I've not been there yet. All those other locations are awesome.
So Cezanne Fuego, if I'm pronouncing that right, it's an unbelievable restaurant over in Newburgh. So check that out. So I'll give a shout out to Randy. And any other businesses? I'll say Tri-State Athletic Club.
Okay.
It's where I go to. I've been going there my whole life, playing basketball there when I was younger, and now I just mainly work out there. But love Tri-State. Most of their employees have been there since I was a little kid, and I think it's a great ran organization. It was recently bought out by Genesis, I believe, but they do a good job over there. So
okay, well there you go. Well, subscribe so you can see all these cool people come on the show, Lord willing. And you guys, where do you want people to go? Facebook, website? What's the best play?
You can go to our website, dpatrickford.com, view any of our inventory. It has all used vehicles that Dpatrick has. Like I said, over 1,000 new, over 1,000 used vehicles to choose from. If you want to go to our social media page and meet some of our team, we like to do funny TikTok videos every now and then. So you can see those at Dpatrick Ford's Facebook page or our Instagram. And so we like to have a fun culture. We invite anybody to come by and choose Dpatrick.
Awesome. Well, we'll have links to all that in the description, and click right here to watch another video. Thanks for coming on.
I think it went well.
I think it did. I think it was awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, and if I can ever help you get in touch with